Busan is not just another city for Jimin. For millions of fans around the world, Busan may simply be one of South Korea's most iconic coastal cities, a place known for beautiful beaches, warm people, and unforgettable memories. But for Jimin, Busan means something much deeper. It is home. And according to growing fan discussions surrounding BTS's preparations for the upcoming Busan concert, many ARMYs believe there may be one emotional reason why Jimin has been quietly pushing himself and possibly even encouraging the members to train harder than ever before. He simply doesn't want to disappoint Busan, his city, his people, his beginning. As excitement builds around BTS returning to Busan for the highly anticipated Arirang concert, fans have started paying closer attention to every tiny detail surrounding preparations. From rehearsal schedules to subtle member interactions, one thing many ARMYs seem to agree on is this: something about Jimin feels different, more focused, more determined, more emotional. For longtime fans, this wouldn't actually be surprising, because if there is one thing ARMY has learned about Jimin over the years, it is that he carries enormous responsibility in his heart, especially when it comes to people he loves. And Busan? That place shaped him. Before he became one of the biggest global stars in music history, before sold-out stadiums and worldwide recognition, Jimin was simply a talented boy from Busan with enormous dreams. A young dancer who worked tirelessly, a perfectionist, someone who always wanted to do better. Even during BTS's earliest years, fans noticed something special whenever Busan was mentioned in interviews. There was always warmth in Jimin's expression, a softness, a kind of pride that quietly appeared whenever his hometown entered the conversation. Because no matter how global BTS became, Busan remained personal. And now, with BTS preparing for a major concert there, fans believe this moment means far more to Jimin than people realize. Imagine this for a second. Thousands upon thousands of people filling the venue. Families, locals, people who watched Jimin grow up. Teachers, neighbors, old classmates, citizens of Busan proudly welcoming back one of their hometown heroes. That kind of pressure, it feels different, especially for someone like Jimin. Known for his incredible professionalism and perfectionism, Jimin has repeatedly shown over the years that he notices details most people overlook. Whether it's vocal delivery, choreography precision, stage emotion, or fan experience, he rarely settles for good enough. He wants unforgettable. And according to many fans discussing the upcoming Busan performances online, there is growing speculation that Jimin may be approaching these rehearsals with extra intensity because this concert is deeply personal. Not because anyone demanded perfection, but because he wants Busan to feel proud. There's something incredibly emotional about returning to your hometown after becoming successful. You want to show gratitude. You want to give back. You want people to feel proud that they supported you from the beginning. And perhaps, for Jimin, the Busan concert represents exactly that, a thank you letter. But instead of words, he's expressing it through performance. Fans have especially noticed how emotionally invested Jimin tends to become whenever major BTS performances carry special meaning. Think back to some of BTS's biggest moments. Whenever emotions run high, Jimin somehow becomes even more immersed, pouring everything into facial expressions, dance lines, vocals, and audience connection. He performs like every second matters, because to him, it probably does. And Busan, this may be one of those moments. Some ARMYs have even joked online that Jimin probably wants this concert to feel like the Olympics of performances. Others believe he simply wants every citizen in Busan to walk away saying, "That's our Jimin," a hometown hero who never forgot where he came from. And honestly, that emotional connection makes perfect sense, because throughout BTS's career, Jimin has consistently shown humility despite his overwhelming success. He has often spoken with gratitude toward fans, members, and the people who supported him before fame. So imagining him wanting Busan to experience something extraordinary doesn't feel unrealistic at all. In fact, it feels very Jimin. Quietly caring, quietly working harder, quietly carrying emotional weight without making it obvious. And perhaps that is why fans feel something special is happening behind the scenes. Not necessarily because anyone officially confirmed intense rehearsals, but because ARMY knows Jimin. They know how deeply he cares. They know how seriously he takes meaningful stages. And most importantly, they know he never wants to disappoint people, especially not people from home. There is also another emotional layer to all of this. Busan has always played an important role in BTS's story. Of course, fans immediately think of Jimin and fellow Busan member Jungkook whenever the city comes up. Their shared hometown connection has long been something ARMY adores. But for Jimin specifically, Busan feels tied to identity, to memories, to sacrifice, to the younger version of himself who probably dreamed of performing on huge stages someday. Can you imagine what it must feel like now, standing backstage?
Hearing thousands of voices, knowing that somewhere in the crowd are people from the city that raised you, people who remember where you started. That feeling alone could motivate anyone to work harder. And maybe, just maybe, that is exactly what fans are sensing from Jimin right now. Determination, responsibility, love. Not pressure driven by fear, but passion driven by gratitude. Because disappointing fans anywhere would hurt, but disappointing your hometown? That probably feels personal. So if Jimin truly is practicing harder, refining details more carefully, or quietly pushing himself behind the scenes, perhaps the reason isn't mystery at all. Perhaps it's simple. He wants Busan to remember this night forever. He wants every fan to feel proud. He wants every citizen watching to say, "We watched him grow, and look at him now." And honestly, that sounds exactly like something Jimin would do. A performer who never gives less than everything. A perfectionist who notices every detail. A hometown son returning not just as a superstar, but as someone who still remembers exactly where he came from. So ARMY, what do you think? Do you believe Jimin is preparing extra hard because Busan means something deeply personal to him? Or do you think BTS is secretly planning something much bigger for this concert? One thing feels certain. If Jimin's heart is truly in this performance the way fans believe, then Busan may be about to witness one of the most emotional BTS stages ever. And if there's one person who absolutely refuses to disappoint his hometown, it just might be Park Jimin.